Hi, this is Todd. Actually, today we're going to be cooking with Bisbee hot and spicy mixes and stuff. Their sauces, their dry rubs, and things like that. It's been really wet, it's been really windy, it's been kind of nasty out to go out and do some barbecue. So today we're going to do some ribs. We're going to do them inside. We're going to try and give them a little bit of that smoky flavor like you did outside, just to prove that you can barbecue while you're inside and nice. What we're going to start out with is some of our base layer things. So we're going to start out with some onions and some peppers. I picked out the nice colorful ones because they have a slight different flavor in each one. Not that you always notice, but they do. You can also then leave them in your sauce at the end and give some great color for when you're done. Now, what we're going to do is create a base layer. So what we're going to do is cut all these into ringlets. So we'll just simply cut our onion. We'll peel it off. And I'm going to do this on camera because this way you can see what size we're looking at for ringlets out of it. They do not have to be really thick, but you don't want them too thin that they just totally dissolve on you necessarily either. And I'll explain that a little later in the video why you may not want that. So let's get that into there. Now, like I said, we're not going to split it in half. We're just going to do ringlets. So a little over a 1/4 inch. A little thicker is all right. Now, we're going to cook these today in a crock pot. You can do it in a slow roaster. You can do it in a big pan in the oven. You can do it outside if you want. You can do it in Dutch ovens outside. Or if it's really, like I said, it's been nasty. So if you want to do it inside where it's actually kind of decent, you can do it outside on the grill if you want. So now I have it. I'm just going to break them down into ringlets. I'm going to dispose of those little ones. Some bigger ringlets. If they kind of break in half like that, that's all right too. And you can use those smaller pieces. They actually work well too, but I kind of want the ringlets so it just has a better look to it in a way if you ask me. Because sometimes that's what makes it really appetizing is the look and the smell. Alright, we got plenty of those. Now I chose, like I said, stoplight pepper, so it'll give it a little bit. They do have a little slight flavor difference, but nothing major out of it. That out. Get the seeds out. And once again, all we're going to do is cut these into ringlets. There's one out of it. Get some of the vein out of there. Off there. Here we have our second one. Alright, so now we have our base layer, our veggies prepped for this. We can also use carrots, we could use parsnips if we really wanted, if we want some deeper earthy tones to our ribs that we want. Today we're going a little lighter, we want it to feel summer even though it's kind of not nice outside. So this is where we're going to go. Next we'll start prepping the ribs and we'll go over the stuff we're using for that. Okay, now we're ready to do some assembly here. So what I'm going to do is create my base bottom for each one set of ribs. We're doing the crock pots today, like I said. So what I'm going to do is, since I said we're going to cut them into ringlets, we're going to layer some ringlets in each one of these. They don't have to be pretty, just put them in so they give you a nice little layer. What they're going to do is they're going to help lift the ribs so they actually steam more than cooking directly onto a hot surface. So I have so many in that one. We'll do so many of the green in each one. Do so many of the reds in each one. And do so many of the yellows in each one. These will lift it up, but they'll also add some flavors on up and in. And I don't need these extra onions, but I can put a couple in here, just to make sure I'm not hitting the bottom. There we go. Now we can get this out of the way. Now we can actually start with some of the fun part. We can start with the ribs. Now the ribs, I've already taken the chine bone off, and I've already taken the membrane off the back of them. This way, one, when it's time to actually cut them down to serve them, the chine bone is not in your way, and it actually cuts off a lot easier for cutting individual servings. Taking the membrane off, there's videos that'll show you how to do it. It's on the back. Take it off this way. It cooks more thoroughly, plus it's a little easier to eat. You don't get that membrane stuck in your teeth. So first we're going to do is we're going to add some of the Southwest seasonings from Bisbee Hot and Spicy. This actually has a little bit of a smoky smell to it, so when you do this, it'll give you that little hint like it was actually kissed by the barbecue outside for the smoke. So we'll go ahead and we'll season this totally up. And you don't have to be shy. Doesn't need a light dusting. It can be heavy if you want. Season that up on one side. I already pre-split them in half. This way they'll fit into this. If I was doing them on a giant slow roaster, turkey roaster if you will, I wouldn't actually have to do that. There we go. All right, so now we're done with Southwest seasoning. Now comes the fun, messy part. You can do this with a brush. You can do it with the back of a spoon. I do have gloves, one for safe handling of the actual meats. Two, your hands are probably the best freaking utility tools you can ever use out there. This is her habanero mustard that they carry at Bisbee Hot and Spicy. It's actually got a really nice sweet tone to it. This goes really well in pulled pork. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover it totally with the mustard. Once we got that covered, now, this is just going to eventually mix in with all your other sauces. And it'll add a nice tangy flavor to your sauces too. All right, so now that we have it up there we go. Now we have them all painted nice and pretty like that. What I'm going to do is get rid of these gloves. There we go. Now I'm going to gently put them, I need to put a nice dusting here. Yeah, I spilled on the table, people. Nobody said doing barbecue was always nice and neat. If you don't get barbecue on yourself or everything else, then it's not real barbecue, is it? This is the good shit seasoning that they carry down at Bisbee Hot and Spicy. This one's a little milder than the Oshit. The Oshit has a little more heat to it. So this is how we're going to differentiate. One's going to be a little hotter, one's going to be not. Now I know that mustard sauce says it's got a level 4 on it. Her scale runs from 0 to 10. She does carry a few items go beyond that, but that could be another show someday. This one will be a little hotter heat with the Oshit. So we're going to do one with a little more heat, one with a little less heat. This says it's a 4. This says it's about, I think it's about a 6. I may be wrong. This one's a lot milder. So we'll go with a milder one. This is a real lower sauce. It's only like a 3. This one is almost a 6 if I remember right. So we'll do a hotter set. We'll do a milder set. We'll do a little more kid friendly, or if you have good memories of barbecue as a kid, we're going to do this one with a root beer. This one with a regular beer. So that way you have an adult version, you have a memories from your youth version. So let's get these into the slow cookers. Now, once we get them in, they don't have to be totally perfect. Although it helps if I don't glue up my fingers too much there. There's our mild one. And all we're going to do, we'll lift it up gently. We'll get some slots flying around here. Maybe. There we go. Get some on the bottom rib. And then just pour the whole rest. The whole bottle. Go ahead. On the top. It'll actually work itself down. It'll spread itself out as it cooks. Get that one on there. Get this one layered in. And get some sauce in there. A little thinner on that one, isn't it? Oh, it's got a good smell to it. There we go. The whole thing in there. All right. So now we can get these out of our way. We can bring these in. I can try and clear my fingers so they don't slide on me anymore. We'll go ahead and pop this one. I recommend you can buy and use any beer you want. This is a lager. Go local, find the microbreweries. They have some of the best stuff. You can use a stout. This is a lager. You can use a Pils. Buy a good beer that you like to drink. That's what I recommend, because that'll be more flavor of what you like when you cook it down with. So go ahead and do that. It doesn't have to pour on top. You just pour it in. This way you can leave some of that sauce on the top. There you go. That one's in. Like I said, we're doing a root beer on this one. So that's all we're going to do with it. We're going to pour it in here. Root beer barbecue sauce, one of my favorites. I really do like this. All right, so we got that one done. Now these two are both ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and stop coming up here. I'm going to put them both in the crock pots. They'll cook for about 4.5 to 6 hours. They should be really tender by then. We'll split it down and we'll show you how we finish off with the sauce. All right, we're about at the halfway point. Let's take a look and see how it's looking. Oh, if you could only smell this from where you're at right now. I wish you could. See how that sauce was clumped up earlier and how it's nice and oozing down in to make a thick gravy and sauce for the bottom? They smell good. They're starting to look. See how they're form-fitting a little bit together? So they're getting there. They're not quite there. We got a few hours to go. All right, it's been 6 hours. The ribs are done. So now it's time to do our finish up. So what we'll do is we'll pull the lid. We'll take our ribs out. Hopefully we can get them out because they're virtually fall apart here. one. And our end piece. And we got all those lovely extra veggie stuff. Now what I'm going to do with these veggie stuff, we're going to put them in the bowl for now. And we'll get more of those get a few more of those veggies out of there in a few minutes. First we're going to try not to lose that. Then we're going to try and break these down. We'll cut this one in. Well, there we go. We only have one bone left in that one anyway. I think that's like a perfect serving size then. Okay, so those are broken down. And they'll go back in the pot here just to get a little sauce again. But what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit more of the veggies. Now the veggies are great if you want to leave them whole and just put them out there because they're a great little side dish. When we were doing this, if you wanted a little more earthy taste or whatnot with it, you can use carrots, you could use parsnips, you could use squashes cut down in cube. You can do all kinds of things like that to actually make it a little more earthy tone to it. And when you're going to do kind of what I'm getting right here to do, it'll help thicken it up some too if you want. I'm going to leave some of the veggies in here. I'm going to get a bunch of this broth. Then we're going to use the stick blender. You can use your regular blender up high, you know, set it, dump it in, hit it. But we're just going to try and grind down some of these. And this is kind of a sneaky thing to do if you want. For those who big time carnivores who don't like to eat their veggies, now you just have an instant barbecue sauce with a full serving of veggies on top of it. They'll never know. Now this, I can leave alone. I can paint it onto the ribs, or I can mix it back in here, and it'll just help make everything a little thicker. And if we want, we can add a little sauce to these. Now I can wrap the ribs up with aluminum foil, whatever, and let them keep, or for transport, or they can go right back in this thing and put back on warm if I want. There. That is cooking with Bisbee Hot and Spicy. We used a grand total for each batch, 4 ingredients from the store. So this way, I like to use multiple things out of every place I go to do stuff like this, because who wants to make a trip for just one thing? This shows you the versatility. We can use multiple ingredients from one store for making something really phenomenal. Hopefully we'll have a video of our owner doing a taste test, and we'll have the family eating these in a little bit. Talk to you later. Thanks. All right, we got Cheryl with us finally for the tasting. She's going to try it. She does not know which one is which, so we'll let her taste. You can see her pass out from whatever of it. She may go full face into it. I'm not sure. Then she can try it. She can tell us which one she likes better, or she likes them equal. And she can try and figure out which one's which, maybe. So I'll let you go ahead and.
Yummy.
Unless you want me to try and feed you.
No. Why don't you shut up so I can eat? Oh. Mmm. Yummy. I feel a little bit of heat with that one.
A little bit of heat with that one, okay.
Well, that's good.
But you can finish it later.
All right, fine. Wait. I have to do this right. I have to cleanse my palate with some wine.
Well, they're like, that's tequila with food coloring.
Okay. good. Am I supposed to pick? Or can I just eat until
You
I'm
can
full?
eat. You will not. You like one better than the other?
Oh. Am I supposed to be ladylike or anything? No? Good.
I'll wait for that.